Why have so many guys given up dating? To me, it's quite sad that we've got to a point where guys just choose to just be alone. Like the way the current landscape looks, most guys are losing. Most guys are not getting any kind of success with women, and guys have just basically given up. Starting at the top, unrealistic dating requirements. We've seen it a lot on social media where women will voice the kind of requirements they have of men, what they're looking for in a man to provide or deliver, and a lot of times it's very unrealistic. A lot of times these women have their heads in the clouds and they are basically looking for this 1% Superman, Mr. Perfect guy. This Prince Charming guy, which really and truly the majority of men are not going to satisfy these requirements. For instance, a lot of the time when you go on dating apps, the number one thing you will see is that a woman will say she wants a guy that's 6 foot plus. Now, as for myself personally, I'm 6'1", but what I notice in the world is that majority of men are not as tall as me or taller. Right, the vast majority of men on this planet are around the 5'9" to 5'11" range. And really, this is a silly dating requirement because height does not really determine anything but height. It doesn't mean you're going to be more successful. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a better partner or a better father or a better provider or anything. It doesn't mean anything but literally height, and possibly passing on height to children, which maybe women are thinking that subconsciously. And also, height is predisposed. It's not something that a man can choose. Another thing that a lot of women will talk about is they want a man who has 6 figures. If you don't have money, a lot of times you won't get much respect out in the world, whether that's right or wrong, but that's literally how it is. And particularly as a man, if you are not a guy who has any resources or any money in your pocket, you'll find trouble getting respect from women. The vast majority of men are on average wage, and for some reason in our current society, being on the average wage has been demonized. It has been made to look like you are poor, you are broke, and you're not somebody who quote unquote deserves a woman. And I think that this is very, very disgusting, to be honest, because most of the people who are voicing this kind of dating requirement, they do not come from affluent backgrounds. A lot of them, their mothers and fathers, if they had a father in their life, were average people and they made it work. But now we have a lot of women who come out and say that a man must be making 6 figures, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Another dating requirement is supersized corn star in the bedroom, and really and truly, I find that to be really ridiculous because number one, in my opinion, if a woman is talking about they want a guy that's got a huge elephant trunk in his trousers, to me that indicates that she's probably had a lot of experience with all kinds of willies out there in the world, and that's why she's so adamant that she needs Godzilla in the bedroom. So whenever you hear women talk like that, they're really exposing themselves. So I think that's a joke. Alongside with the fact that there's a lot of unrealistic dating requirements, what you'll find is that the average woman out there thinks that she's better than the average man. She doesn't realize that she's actually evenly yoked with that average man. There's something called the 80-20 rule, where it's 80% of women are chasing after the top 20% of men, even though they do not suit those men. They believe that that's who they're meant to be with, and that's what their level is. And it is a very big error, because what you find is a lot of these average women, when they do get to interact with these top 20% of men, they just get pumped and dumped. They get pumped and dumped continuously, and then that turns them into bitter people, and then they will come out and come to social media and start saying men are dogs, men are not trustworthy, etc, etc, when really and truly it's just based on your choices. Social media has made the world very, very small. The average woman has a plethora of options. You could have a very, very attractive girlfriend and she's on social media, she's on Instagram. Drake's got access to your girlfriend, bro. Any pro athlete has access to your girlfriend. Any actor has access to your girlfriend. And it's mad because with great power comes great responsibility. Shout out to Spider-Man. So having all of these options is kind of like a power. But unfortunately, I think that a lot of these people with these options do not know how to handle it correctly. Then you'll get into these situations where, you know, a woman, she'll have a boyfriend and the boyfriend's good to her, but, you know, I don't know, Chris Brown DMs her and says, oh, come see me, and she'll go because it's Chris Brown. I actually did a public interview at a Chris Brown concert, and I asked girls out there, you know, if you have a boyfriend but Chris Brown was to DM you and said he was going to fly you out, would you go? And I think all of them said that they would go. Just shows the lack of like loyalty. It shows the lack of like, you know, self-control or, you know, awareness. And I think a lot of men these days realize your woman will go for the right guy. And it's just a sad reality. You know, that's not really a reliable prospect. That's not really someone that you can put faith and trust in. I think that society really encourages women to be promiscuous, and it encourages women to be party girls. In our society, women don't really get held accountable for their actions and the mistakes they make. A lot of times when women make mistakes, especially in relationships, people always turn to the man and ask him what he did wrong. Or if a man tries to put any kind of standards into his relationship, or, you know, he tries to maybe encourage better behavior out of the woman he's with, you know, he'll be demonized for that. He'll be called controlling, narcissistic, etc., all kind of other shaming lines. And again, with great power comes great responsibility. A lot of these women are independent and, you know, they're their own people, but a lot of times they do not control the power responsibly, and they go throw their box around, they're party girls. And to be honest, these kind of people, they're just not wifey material, in my opinion. And a lot of guys are realizing that. They're either realizing that through their own experiences with these women, like me, someone like me who's been out there. I've been a party guy, you know, and I've seen like, or experienced women being very, you know, promiscuous. And it kind of makes you realize that, whoa, you got to be really careful out here who you choose to couple up with, because a lot of women have done a lot of crazy stuff, just been reckless with their body. And, you know, do you really want to be coupled up with someone with unsavory past? A big issue which keeps men like from committing to a lot of women these days is that 80% of the time women end marriages and relationships. I'm somebody that's had quite a few relationships in my life, and the last one, the girl, she broke up with me. And, you know, that this was somebody that really led me to believe that they cared a lot and that they would never want to walk away or break up. And she did it out of the blue. And, you know, when I talk to a lot of other guys, they've had similar experiences. They've been with a girl who they really cared about and invested in, you know, not necessarily financially, so to speak, but emotionally and stuff like that. And you know, planned to be with them long term. And then one day they just got up and said, I don't want to do this no more. And to me, I think that this kind of situation really damages men mentally, because I know I experienced that mentally. And it changes you. It makes you kind of look at relationships and commitment different. It makes you feel like, you know, you can't really trust what anyone says. And, you know, most people would agree that, you know, actions speak louder than words, right? And time is the true test. Like, do you know what I mean? People can pretend for a little while, but usually their true colors will come out eventually. It's sad that so many marriages and relationships are broken up for impulsive feelings. When you're dealing with someone who is primarily controlled by emotion, that can be quite dangerous, because yeah, that kind of person can just break up with you because they feel a certain type of way in the moment, but, you know, down the line they may come to their senses and realize, oh, I made a mistake, but by that time it's too late. Also, the fact that a lot of times people think the grass is greener on the other side because they have so many options. And, you know, they go on social media and they see what other people are doing and the kind of lives other people are living with their partners. You know, a lot of times they think, oh, there's something better out there. I know my worth. I got to go and find Prince Charming, Mr. Perfect, Superman, you know. And really the reality is it's not true. If you've got a guy who actually does care about you, and you pretty much should stay where you're at. A big issue that I believe in our current society is that modern women are wanting men to be traditional. This is a very unfair dynamic where, you know, women these days are, you know, they're independent, they don't need a man, making their own money and all of that good stuff, yeah, all of that good stuff, yeah, equality and all of that. But at the same time, they want a man to be traditional and pay for everything and be protectors, providers, and, you know, be emotionally intelligent and all of this kind of stuff. Whereas, you know, the woman can basically play the equality game when it suits her, and then play the I'm the traditional wife when it suits her. And it's just not fair. And a lot of guys have seen quote unquote traditional men get fucked over. We've seen guys who have been protectors and providers for their women basically get dropped, get dumped, get divorced. It just doesn't seem like a even exchange these days. If you're a modern woman, then accept to be with a modern man, and you're more than likely going to be doing 50-50 with him, because it's an expensive world that we live in, especially if you live in a first world country like the UK or the USA. I just think that a lot of women don't really understand factors that go into being a modern woman and wanting modern woman lifestyle, and then you think that you deserve this traditional man. It just doesn't work like that. You're not evenly yoked with him. Traditional is with traditional, modern is with modern. Pick your poison. A funny one for me to talk about, because a lot of guys would probably say I'm a Tyrone, and I'd pretty much accept that because of my past life experiences, not because I'm arrogant or I think that I'm some super good looking guy or etc etc. But if I look at my past life experiences with women, I would class myself as a Tyrone. I don't really find trouble attracting the women that I find attractive. You know, I'm very confident, you know, I'm on the taller side, I'm a quite built guy. I've been able to attract women quite easily, especially women in their prime, right? What you notice is that in a lot of women's prime years these days, they usually pick bad boys, right? They pick bad boys, they pick fuck boys, they pick guys, maybe they're criminals, or they pick, you know, these high value men that obviously have a lot of options and don't have to commit to anybody, right? And what happens is they couple up with these guys, they get pumped and dumped, they rack up mileage, they may take on the baggage of having kids with these bad boys at some point and stuff like that. You know, they go through a roller coaster of different negative experiences with these guys, which basically may turn them bitter towards men, may, you know, just change their personality. So for the next man, this woman will probably be a headache and stuff like that. And it's just sad because, you know, at the end of the day, everybody's getting older, and the reality is your options change as you get older, especially as a woman, because men do judge you on your looks. And so, you know, when you're in your prime years, that's probably the best time for you to get the best partner. But unfortunately, a lot of these women in their prime years, they just want to be party girls, bro. They just want to be party girls. They just want to get drunk and go to a club and show off and take, you know, provocative pictures for social media and on their public Instagrams. And, you know, nobody can tell them nothing, and I'm living my best life, and I'm a city girl, and they're disciples of Cardi B and Ice Spice and all of this. And bruh, like, where does it get you in the end? A lot of these beautiful women that you see on social media, a lot of them are single baby mamas. You know, you'll look at them and think, oh, she's gorgeous, oh, I would love to be with her. But bro, guess what? You actually get with some of these women and you realize why they're single. You realize why no man can really stomach being with them for very long. The wall. Unfortunately, a lot of women these days, they don't realize the value of a good guy until they've hit the wall, right? Until they've racked up mileage with the bad boys and etc. And then once they've hit the wall, they're like, uh-oh, time's running out, I'm in the danger zone, you know, my options are drying up, let me settle down with a guy that is actually gonna love me and take care of me, and, you know, I can be safe now. But unfortunately, you're not in your prime anymore. So your options for these guys is very, very small. And a lot of guys do not want to be taken for a ride. You know, if you're a guy that you've worked hard throughout your whole life, and maybe you've been overlooked by many women, you know, you've been rejected, you've been dumped, and etc by the women that you liked, you know, that's, you're gonna learn from those lessons. And you're gonna start to realize that, oh, what, these type of women, they don't really value me. Why would I allow this woman, once she's already been ran through or whatever, why would I couple up with her now? A lot of guys understand this dynamic. A lot of guys understand that these women would never have dated them when they were in their prime, but now they're outside of their prime. Now they're gonna give man an opportunity or give man a chance. Now you wanna act nice and stuff like that, bro. Like, a lot of guys are hip to the game. I believe there's a lot of broken people in this world, and in particular there's a lot of broken women in this world, and you know, they are broken because of unfortunate negative experiences they've had in their lives, which were not their own fault, were, you know, where probably men in their lives have done, you know, heinous things to them. And a lot of times they may be broken also because of their own poor choices, you know. And the reality is that you can't fix a broken woman as a man, like, and if you do try to, it is a very dangerous thing to do, because eventually, whether she means to or she doesn't, she will end up breaking you. And I want to always make this a very, very consistent point on this channel, that you cannot save these women, bro. Like, they can only save themselves, right? And some people can't be saved at all, right? And I just think that it's very important as a man that you partner up with somebody who is balanced, who has, you know, who has their their mind right. If you couple up with somebody who has a lot of unresolved issues that manifest in the present, bro, like, it's gonna end up hurting you. It's gonna end up bringing you a lot of headache, stress, pain, and more than likely it's gonna manifest in some kind of unsavory behavior that is gonna, you know, destroy you as a man. And I think that every man has to be very, very alert to this. If a woman is displaying any kind of dysfunctional thinking or behavior or anything like that, bro, you just gotta walk away. I don't care how nice she's acting in the beginning, because as I said, like, in the honeymoon phase, people are great at acting, but the truth will come out eventually. And you don't want to be in a position where the true face comes out, but you're already emotionally invested in this person, because it's going to be hard to break away. You know, it's going to be hard to end it, right? And then you carry on down the road with this broken individual. Eventually they're gonna either do something that's gonna hurt you, or they're gonna just dump you, because they're broken. When you come across these women and they've had all these crazy negative experiences, and bro, it's probably best to avoid, in my opinion. I'm talking from experience. It's probably best to avoid, you know, just remove yourself. And you know, I know you probably think that they're gorgeous, they're great looking, they're giving you good sex, all of that, but it's just not worth the hassle. You got to think long term. Another big reason why men are just not trying to deal with women is a lot of women out here gold diggers, bruv. They're all about the money, they're all about get the bag. And again, men do not want to be used. I'm not the kind of guy that goes around and splashing money all over the place. I'm not that kind of guy. When you come across these women who are high maintenance and all of this, and they expect this Instagram explore page lifestyle, bro, she's not wifey material, in my opinion. Those kind of women, in my opinion, are the type that you just sell them a dream for the night, and then that's it. Like, even if you are a man of means and you have a lot of money, I still don't think it's a good idea to take any of these kind of gold digger women seriously, because at the end of the day, they're not trustworthy and they're not reliable. A woman who is a gold digger will leave you at the drop of a hat if another guy with money comes along. There's always another man that's going to have more money than you, more resources than you, right? And God forbid, like, your income dries up, bro, she's gone. She's not sticking around. She doesn't care. She doesn't want to hear excuses. She's gone because she's about the bag. She's not about you. She doesn't care about you. She don't care if you eat or you don't eat, right? And she's there because of what you offer her, what she can get out of you, and that's it. And it doesn't matter how many nuts she helps you bust. Those are a few of the reasons why a lot of men have opted to walk away from dating and stuff like that. Now, me personally, I think that it's a sad reality. I think that there are women out there that are possibly good partners, but it just depends on your location. It depends on what type of women you like and the type you're going for. And but I think that a lot of women, modern women today, you know, they are falling into one of these kind of categories that I've outlined, and it doesn't need to be like that. I think a lot of people need to humble themselves, come back down to earth, you know, and stop feeling like you're settling. With that being said, let me know what you think about that. If you agree with the points, or if you think I left out any points, let me know in the comment section below. Please leave comments. Please, please, please like the video, leaving comments, having discussions, conversations in the comment section, and all of that good stuff. I will try my best to reply to every comment as always. And yeah, peace. Take care of yourselves.